How's it going, you guys? So I literally just finished a 40-minute bike ride, probably spanning about, I'd say 6 to 7 miles. And, just supposed to take it light and easy because tomorrow I have a really heavy leg and lower body session followed by an MMA sparring session. Anyway, and I also did hardcore bench press earlier today. So people who say that you can't exercise on keto, or you can't gain strength and performance and do hardcore sprinting and glycotic exercise are full of crap. Anyway, okay, I've got a lot of people who are commenting about keto and things like that. People, from what I can see, need to research what keto is. In this video, I'm going to give you a brief overview, okay? And listen, there's a lot of people out there that claim keto doesn't work and this and that. Most of them haven't tried it. They're just, either they're trying to protect their own brand. They're trying to make money by discrediting keto, or keto's taking money away from them, so they gotta discredit it, or they just don't understand a ketogenic metabolism. Whatever the case, you have to be doing keto right if you want to reap the benefits. So it's not like veganism where, you're not doing it right, blah, blah, blah. The fact is, when you're doing a ketogenic diet, you're limiting carbs to the point where your body is literally shifting its entire metabolism. It's downregulating all sorts of enzymes and upregulating others. It's changing its entire metabolic process to run on stored body fat. And when you do this, you will feel like crap if you do not do it properly. This is, for many people, the type of thing that should be done under medical supervision. But there is enough information out there to teach people how to do it properly to where they can reach the same superhuman state of performance that I've reached and many others have as well. So anyway, here's the thing. Keto, in order to shift your body in a ketogenic metabolism, you can do two things. Number one, you could fast, and within 3 days of not eating anything, your body should start to use stored body fat as fuel. Or you can just limit your net carbohydrates. That means the total carbs minus the fiber minus the sugar alcohols. Keep net carbs under 20 grams per day. And when you're first starting in the first week, the lower the carbohydrate intake, the better. That means removing all starches. That means beans, legumes, nuts and seeds even, fruits. That means starchy tubers like potatoes. Anything with a high net carb content, or anything that's just mostly carbohydrate, such as, wheat, rice, barley, oats, quinoa, all of that stuff. Beans, pinto beans, peas, peanuts. You got to keep those out of your diet. Absolutely, okay? On a ketogenic diet, there's no place for those types of foods. Some nuts and seeds can be added later on. If you do not do this, you will not start burning stored body fat as fuel. Also, you got to keep in mind, things like tomatoes, they are fruits and they are higher in carbohydrate content. Carrots tend to be high in starch because they are tubers, just like sweet potatoes, but they have much less carbs than others. You could probably add those in later on, especially if you're exercising. And so when you lower your net carbs down, you have to understand you are removing a large amount of calories. However, many people, including myself, have done experiments where we've eaten 1,000 or more calories over our daily metabolic rate, and we've still burned fat despite the fact that we're eating in a strong calorie surplus. And compared to my carbohydrate experiments, I was gaining fat on 3,000 calories a day. Same workout, actually my workouts were more intense and everything, but I gained fat eating more carbohydrates, even in a calorie deficit. Compare that to eating 4,000 to 5,000 of calories per day in a ketogenic diet. Some people tend to gain weight for some reason if they are in a calorie surplus on a ketogenic diet. I don't know why, but many people find that they can burn fat regardless of calories on a ketogenic diet. That's not everyone though. And there's different ways of doing it. that might change that effect. Regardless, though, the point is when you are doing a ketogenic diet, you must eat enough fat, okay? Many people, because there's something called rabbit starvation, and you should look that up. People tend to feel lethargic, lightheaded, and sick if they are not eating enough fat or enough carbohydrates, depending on what type of diet you're doing. On a ketogenic diet, you should be getting most of your caloric energy from dietary fat, okay? Regardless of how overweight you are. But, you know, you do want to limit your calories and your fat intake if you are overweight. Regardless, though, you know, people try to drink keto coffee and they drink bulletproof coffee to get more fat in their diet because you might find it hard eating, you know, 50 to 70% of your calories from fats during the day. So, you know, track your food, log your food, pay attention to macronutrients. Okay, do your best to make sure you're getting at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. I have videos on gluconeogenesis and the fact that it's a demand-driven process. It will not kick you out of ketosis, and people who say it will don't know what they're talking about. So 1 gram per pound of body weight of protein, okay, and then get the rest of your calories from fat, and make sure you're, you know, as a rule of thumb, get a minimum of 1 gram per pound of body weight of fat, okay? And that's gonna be probably 50 to 70% of your daily caloric intake. And then broccoli, leafy greens, you know, stuff like that is good as well. It's fine unless you're trying to do a carnivore diet, which you don't have to. But yeah, if you're not following these basic rules, you're gonna feel like crap. And also adding a pinch of salt, preferably like some type of natural salt that doesn't have additives to it, which is the main problem with table salt. But a pinch of salt in the morning because you will lose a lot of water weight. But I lost 10 pounds I lost 15 pounds initially and kept it off since. Eating more calories on a ketogenic diet and working out less, which is crazy. Anyway, the other thing you need to keep in mind is, yes, your body will start to produce ketones within 3 days of eating this way. The problem is that, so you get fruity breath and your piss will smell, your pee will smell. The reason why is because your body is producing ketones but not absorbing them yet. And so you have to understand it can take anywhere from 1 to 8 weeks, especially in people that are diabetic, for your body to become what they call fat adapted. And all that means is your body is actually absorbing these ketones from the blood and utilizing them, okay? So your body can utilize fat as fuel to an extent at first, but you'll find that the lethargy and the brain fog will definitely clear after anywhere from 1 to, you know, generally 1 to 4 weeks is a maximum, or is a minimum, 1 to 4 weeks. And if you exercise while you're doing this, you will actually be able to burn those ketones and use those ketones a lot faster than someone who doesn't exercise. Because when you exercise, you're training your muscles to absorb all the nutrients in your blood, whether it's glucose, ketones. Many people after exercising, even when they eat carbs, their body produces ketones. People don't know that. So you got to train your body to use those ketones. And so for me, I didn't have a keto flu at all, but that's because I kept my protein at 1 gram per pound of body weight. I ate plenty of fat. I love bulletproof coffee. I was probably drinking like 4 tablespoons of butter, 4 tablespoons of coconut oil at first. And also, coconut oil is great as well, for producing ketones. Anyway, especially if you're feeling lethargic. But long story short, do your research on keto and follow these basic principles, and do not add carbs back in if you feel like crap. Because if you do this, you're just going to delay ketosis, and it's going to be harder and take longer for your body to finally use those ketones. Okay, so pay attention to the basics. If you're feeling like crap, there's a way around it. Usually eating more fat and eating less carbs and eating more protein and eating some electrolytes, but mainly just salt. All right, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I hope that this helps some people, and I'll talk to y'all in the next time.